Okay, so today I am going to show you, we're going to decorate this. This is a grapevine Easter bunny. Can you see it in the background? And I've got lots of spring flowers, and I've got some ribbon that we're going to use. And I have to be very honest, I've never made this before, so this will be fun. Yay! Okay, for those of you new to my page, I want to welcome you. I am Julie Samaco, owner of Southern Charm Wreaths, where we make beautiful wreaths and teach you how to make and sell them. I'm also a business coach and mentor to creative entrepreneurs through my Success Circle membership group. So I've got a lot going on. And I like to come on here live on Thursdays at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time to give a DIY project. And I might have to lose this scarf because it's starting to get hot with the lights on. And today we're going to be making a bunny wreath. Where did I get the bunny? I got it from Carolina Pottery. One of my favorite places, Carolina Pottery. I love that place. Okay, to get started, you're gonna need a glue gun. You know, you guys, the silk flowers don't have to be anything expensive either with this project. And a little goes a long way. All right, the first thing I'm thinking I need to do is make the bow. Usually it's the last thing, but this time I think I want to make the bow the first thing because I want, let me just get everything out of the way. I want the bow to be, I want it to be pretty big, and I don't want it to be too small, and I don't want to run out of room. That Easter wreath is $9.99 if anybody wants to know, from Carolina Pottery. I want to make the bow first because I feel like if I make the flower arrangement stuff first, that the bow I might not have enough room to make a really pretty bow. So I'm going to be, hey, you know what I just thought of? You guys, if you want to learn how to make, I should post that link in here. I'll do that after the video. If you guys want to learn how to make your own bows, I have just released a free video for you guys teaching you 9 ways to make a bow. And I'm thinking out of 9 formulas, you can find one and master it. I'm not lying. Anybody can do it. I was struggling when I first started out. Maybe you can relate. Tying a bow was like the one thing I just couldn't quite get, and took me a couple of years to, testing video. How many of you go on YouTube and you're trying to figure out how to tie a bow, meeting with florists, trying to get them to teach me how to make a bow, and it finally came down to, I just realized there is no right or wrong way to make a bow, okay? You find some ways that work for you and use it. Done. So anyway, after making bows for about 20 years now, I have learned a few things, and I created a free video for you guys to learn how to make that, and unfortunately I forgot to get the link, so I will have to put that after the video's over. But it's a free video for you guys, okay? All right, so now the bow that I'm going to be making is my signature bow. It's one of the easiest bows that you can make. And I'm going to use, this is 1.5 inch. I only use a wired ribbon. Hi Shirley. And I have some purple. This is a linen. I think it's, to me it's like a linen, but I think technically they call it a denim. All right, and this is 1.5 inch wired. This is wholesale. I got this wholesale. I got this at Sam's Club before they got rid of their spring ribbon. They didn't come out with spring ribbon this year. Sam's Club, you have disappointed a lot of crafters. Okay, let me get my, you're gonna need florist wire for this bow. So let me get that ready. And I like to start with the 2.5 inch. And you could do more. You could do more than this cut. You don't have to obviously do these colors, but you could do more choices, or you could do all of this the same ribbon, and it still makes a really pretty bow. So I come up about 8 inches. Let's do 9 inches. All right, from the end, and you're going to pinch it together. And then now I want to look at my piece real quick. I think I'm going to measure. It's kind of hard. Usually when you guys, the camera's way back there, I have a lot more room, but you guys were complaining that you couldn't see, so I wanted to move it up closer. Let me just see if that's going to be good. Okay, so that's 12 inches. So did you see what I did? I pinched it up from 9 inches from the end, just like that, and I laid it down on my mat, and I measured out 12 inches. I brought it to the back, and I pinch it, and then twist. So your first loop should look like this. And then I'm going to trim this off. All right. And now I'm going to take the second ribbon, and I'm going to pretty much do the same thing. So you're going to come up about 8 inches, pinch it in your hand, but this time the loop comes down. So the first loop went up, this time this loop is coming down. So I'm going to measure out the 12 inches and put it to the back and twist the ribbon. Now at this point, the ribbon has started to move towards the grip of my hand and not, you know, pinched between my fingers. If your hands start to get cramped when you make bows, it's because you're holding your hands too tight. You don't need to put a death grip on it. When I was first starting out, that's what happened to me. And when I realized, I just relax your hand. You only need to be tight enough so that ribbons don't fall out. You don't need to be real tight, okay? All right, so we've got these two, and now I'm going to do the purple the same way, and I'm going to have it come down. Well, actually, this bow will go up. Measure out the 12 inches, and if you can't hold all of the ribbon in your hands at one time, you could make individual loops and then use a potato chip clip or clothespin or something and hold them together. I know some ladies have arthritis, and this bow is perfect for that because you can make it in stages. All right, so this is what I have right now. I've got one loop that I was going to the top and one loop that's going to the bottom. And so now I'm going to take the 2.5 inch one more time and measure it out. And pinch it, lay it down and measure out the 12 inches again and bring it to the back. Cut that off. I'm making the streamers just a little bit long because I'm not sure how long I want them on the bunny. All right, so now this is what the bow, see how the bows start to take shape? So now I'm going to do the yellow. And Jasper's going to bark because Miss Kay got in the shower. Miss Kay comes home from dance about the same time, and then she goes and gets in the shower, and he does not like her in the shower. He does not. Because when he was little, she teased him with her hair up in a towel. So every time she gets in the shower, he doesn't bark with anybody else but her. Okay. Ever since then, It's just got him going. I think I'm going to do one more purple, but see how it's coming along? I can't really turn my hand that way. Let's see, any questions? Oh, thank you for sharing it, Miss April. Yeah, you guys already know what I like. I like for you guys to share it because it's my tip jar. It lets me know what you're liking and what I should be doing more of. And it helps spread the word with my little wreath business. So I just did one more loop. Okay. So this is what I got. And this is a huge bow. So now I'm going to take the florist wire and put it around the dog. Oh my gosh. Put it to the back. I mean, how can you get mad at him for playing, really? Jasper, go out there. Go back. Go to the kitchen and play. He's looking at me like his head going, like, what you saying, Mama? What you saying? I know you're talking to me. I'm going to use the needle nose pliers. If your hands are getting tired, you can use these to twist the ribbon. I mean, twist the wire on the back. One more time. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to shove around the ends or not? I think first off I'm going to cut that straight on the end. I think I'm just going to roll it a little bit. See, I'm just rolling the ends under on the ribbon. Gives a little finished edge. Just like that, you see. So we had some storms last night. Did you guys? Woke up and trash was laying all over the neighborhood. I really can't even believe it's almost Easter. Alright, so I'm just rolling the ends. If you want to cut them at a dovetail, you can. But I'm just going to roll them. Alright, so now that I made the bow, I got the right size that I wanted for the bow. I'm not going to attach it yet. But I wanted to measure just to make sure. I mean, my gosh, look, if you did nothing else, this would be cute. Alrighty, so here we go. Alright, so I have this cherry, I guess these are cherry blossoms. And it's on a bush, and I've seen these everywhere, okay? So these, I have no clue where I purchased them. Oh wait, here we go. Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to cut them off of the stem down here. I may cut them even shorter, but right now that's where I'm going to separate them. And if you guys didn't know, do you see where there is a notch, like right here on the stem? You know that you could cut there and it's easier to cut than if you were to cut somewhere else. There's a little tip. I'm going to cut these flowers because I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. Alright, so let me put the bow out of the way for a minute. What I like to do, what I'm going to do, I started thinking about it. I could just put a lot of flowers right here in the bow, but then we might want to decorate, and then you could decorate one of the ears or something. But then what I thought I'm going to do is put some of these cherry blossoms going around the wreath, the frame itself, to help outline and bring some color to the grapevine wreath base. All right, and so to do that, I'm going to, not really sure, I told you I've not done this before. I think I'm going to start right here and then just have it trail down. Does that make sense? Just like that. Let's do this one on this side. So let me lay it down and get it situated. And then what I'm going to do, I hope you guys can see this okay. And then what I'm going to do is use, it's just called binding wire from Oasis. Bind wire. I'm just going to measure out a yard just for now to get going. And I'm going to use this. Now you could hot glue if you wanted to hot glue your flower stems, but that'd probably be too easy, so I'm just kidding. So I wanted to do the wire. I just worried that the hot glue, this is not like a true grapevine. It is, it's almost, it feels to me like that, what is it called, Cecil stuff, like it's, I don't know, it's not really actually grapevine. All right, so what I've done is just twisted it right here at the top. You can see, just like that. So I've got this, and I'm going to wrap it around tightly. Let's see, I'm gonna... Sorry about the dog, you guys. All right, so when I get to the end, just like this, let's see, I think I might go back and do it a little bit tighter on this side. So this is what we've got so far. And when you get to the end, you're just going to take it, wrap it around to the back, and wrap it in on itself. And then I'm going to bend, this one piece was bending outward. I'm just going to bend that one down. Just like that. So Lisa said she bought something like this at Hobby Lobby. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is the same thing. I'm going to come around on the other side with this piece. So if you, also another way, what you could do is just cut the little flowers off and hot glue them around. But I thought, I don't know, I thought I'd give you guys a different way of doing it. So get another thing of bind wire. I love this bind wire. I use it for almost everything. I use it for my lantern swags, for when I need to wire some pieces onto a sign and I don't want a big, thick, heavy piece. I use it. And if anybody wants to give their tips in the group about how they, or on the page, how they do theirs, more than happy. Because we all know there is more than one way to, I was going to say skin a cat, but that would be so southern, wouldn't it? I'll say there's more than one way to make a wreath. Let's see, I'm pulling it really tight. And just wrapping the bind wire around. And then I'm going to tie it off on the back. And then when I say tie it off, I just mean I take, if you've ever done sewing, you know what I mean. I'm just taking the wire underneath and then pulling it tight. Cut off the excess. So it's okay if I have this up here blank because this is where the bow's going to go. But I have just a little bit of an area right here that I'm going to fill in with a shorter piece. And I'm just going to make sure that the flowers are going to fall exactly where I want them. So I might have to move that stem up where it's underneath the old one we just tied off. So does anybody have plans for this weekend? What's going on? I know some of you are going to be working, hustling that side job, making wreaths or making Etsy shop products, working on your Etsy shops. Some people can go to their 9 to 5 and they come home and they still have to work with their family. They get their, get their shopping, their grocery shopping done and their house chores done. But then there's a select few people who come home and they do a side hustle, selling their creative pieces like this online and at craft shows so that they can make some more money for their family, and they have to get the house chores done. More power to them. That is a special breed right there. Alright, I'm going to just keep tying this on just a little bit. This had a little piece on the end. That wasn't good. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. See the bottom? It's cute. I'm going to go around the head too. Ooh, somebody's painting. All right, let me get this. And I'm going to just do the same thing. Keep wiring this on, and then what we're going to do is put the bow around the center and put some flowers in there. Oh yeah. Check out my nails. I got them done for St. Patrick's Day. All right, so let's see. I want this to curve, so I'm always handling the stems, trying to get it to curve into the form of the head, you know, the shape of the head. I don't think I did this rope long enough. Let's get the bifocals on, because my eyes are not what they used to be. Okay. Let's get another piece. I think I'm going to glue this one piece at the top of the ear to stay in place. Because I'm wondering if I'm going to have enough to go all the way around. Okay, let's see. Now I might not go all the way around the ears now that I'm thinking about it, because I don't want to lose the shape of the ears. So let me think about it for a minute, and I might see if I have any others. This is not quite the same flower. So what I'm going to do is, if you're not sure if you're going to have enough for all the tips, I'm just going to do the rest of the head, and we could do something else on the ear instead of filling in with these. We might just put them here and there with the extra pieces that we have left over. And this. So we're using the bind wire. And if you're just joining me, we are making this bunny rabbit door hanger. And we've already tied the funky bow to be attached to it. And you can, if you've missed the beginning, you can watch the replay. It'll have it, I'll post it in the group as soon as this video is over, I mean the page, and you will be able to see it from the beginning. I'm starting to see it take shape though. If you're worried about where you tie it off with the binding wire, you could just put a little bit of hot glue on there to make sure it stays in place. And then I'm going to put one of these leaves on top of the hot glue. There. All right, so now we've got this. This is cute. And now what I want to do is put some of these flowers on the top. And I think I'm going to hot glue these because I might not have enough to go all the way around. So what I'm going to do is just cut them off the stems. And I'm just going to hot glue them around the ears. So do you guys decorate your homes for Easter? Do you, I know when the kids were young, I did it a lot. Now I don't do it as much. how many yards are on the wire roll. It is 673 feet on the bind wire. It's the Oasis bind wire. All right, so now what I'm going to do is, you see right here around the ear, I don't know if you can see it, but there's the ear shape. I'm going to just hot glue the little pieces on, going around. These are very popular. If you've ever, you Etsy shop owners will know. These are very popular on Etsy. So if you are selling stuff on Etsy, you could maybe make some of these to put in your shop. And people are still buying Easter, because Easter's late this year, so more opportunity for them to buy some of your pretty stuff, which we like. You know, when you make things with your hands and you sell them, you do make an impact on somebody's life, just so you know. Okay, because when somebody will get something like this in the mail and they open it up, it makes them feel very good. It changes their mood and their emotions. When they hang it on their door, they're going to see it, and it's going to make them feel good when they come home. So you can change the world one wreath at a time. Okay, so this is what we have. Isn't that cute? Now I might have to go, I don't think I'm going to fill in with that because there's going to be the bow, but I can come back in and fill it in if there's any more pieces that I need. You know, if it doesn't seem like it's filled out enough. So we can always go back and fix that, trim off some or add more. All right, so now what I want to do is I'm going to create a spray of flowers to include with the bow. So to do that, I just grab some flowers that I like. For me, I like spring. You could do any colors. You can do pastels, or you can do bright colors. There's no rules. I tell you that every week. There are no rules, okay? So you do what your little heart desires, what you feel like is going to be pretty, because that's all that matters, right? All right, so I've got this really pretty fern from the Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to try to split it open. So if you ever get these, the stems where they're covered in plastic like that, I'm going to separate it with, take just a utility knife and go down the stem. And it should start to peel that plastic off. And then you can separate the stems. Especially if you need long stems and you don't want to cut it off real short at the top. And there's a piece of wire. Just be careful not to cut yourself. Okay, so this is where it was bound together up here at the top. Just, you know, all of the tape was up there, but I've split it down and I separated it. And so instead of cutting the stems way up here at the top to get it off of the bundle, I split it down the end, and that way you get these longer pieces. You see, just like that. And it makes them longer. So I have all of this stem right here to work with now. So we've got that, and we've got that. And I've got this. I'm going to lay the bow down to make sure that my flowers are coming out far enough from the bow. We'll do one more tulip on this side. I like that you could bend these too. And I'm going to start working on the other side, doing the same thing. So take my greenery, and my forsythia, trim off the few pieces on the forsythia on the bottom, but don't throw them away because we're going to use them in the bow. All right, so now I'm going to lay this down. And I'm going to get my tulips. One more tulip. If you're just joining me, I am deep in thought making an Easter bunny wreath. All right, I'm going to have one going straight. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do as soon as I get it fixed to my head. I'll hold it up. Okay. There's a lot of moving around things. Okay, so now I'm going to zip tie these. So I've got this bundle. You see how I lay the greenery on the bottom, and then I just layer on top of it other flowers. Let's see, it's starting to get twisted in my hands. There. And then I'm going to zip tie these together. I twisted them around. Put this one up the top. right, and then what I'm going to do is trim these long stems. I'm going to probably leave it about 2 inches. Trim your zip tie. Do the same thing to your first bundle that you made. And so I'm going to lay that on top of each other. So just like that. It's kind of hard to see, it'll be upside down. But I'm holding it right there in my hand, and I'm just going to position the bow on top of it to see if that's the way I want it. And now what I want to do is do one more zip tie for the whole thing. If I can find another zip tie. My zip tie might not be long enough. We'll see, we'll see. Okay, so there's one. We'll get one more zip tie. Now, if you didn't want to bundle them together and then zip tie, you didn't have to. You could just place them all in your hands. If you're, you know, smooth, maybe made these a lot, you could put them all in your hand and just, you know, zip tie everything at one time. But I wanted to make sure the placement, I wanted to be able to see, make sure I could see the flowers from the bow. Now what I want to do is, see, this is how it looks in the center. And I'm going to put the bow right here on top of those zip ties. Just like that. Twist it out to about 1/2 inch and then trim off your excess wire. And then this is what it looks like right there on the back. And I am going to hot glue some leftover silk flower leaves that I have right here. I'm just going to hot glue something over that right there. Just to hide my mechanics. And then you could do one at the top too if you wanted to. You need to do, you know, more on the top and the bottom. I'll put one more on the top. And you don't, if you're making this for your home, you know, you don't necessarily need to cover up the mechanics on the back. I don't really necessarily do it all the time for my own home, but if I am selling it, it's definitely going to have as best as it can look on the back. So just hold that into place real quick. You okay? The dog is coughing up a hairball. He thinks he's a cat. So I'm going to hold this in place, and now let me try to clean up some of this so you can see a little bit better, because we are not done. go ahead and add a door hanger while I've got it turned upside down. So I'm going to use this rope. It's wire, but it's covered. It's called Cecil rope. It looks like it's covered in paper, and it looks like it's grapevine rope, but it's really wire. So I'm going to put that around the ears right here. That's where I'm going to put it, the hanger, right where these ears connect. Twist it. So we have a hanger for the door. All right, so now what I want to do is work on the bow part. I'm going to try to figure out how I can get this standing up so you guys can see a little bit better. So I need to fluff these because I just flattened it when I turned it upside down. Okay, the first thing I would do, let's see if I can find something to prop this up. All right, the first thing I would do is take your flowers and bend them a little bit towards the bush. I mean the bow, just like that. There's one over here. I'm gonna bend this up, this daffodil up. I'm gonna bend one of the daffodils down. I'm going to bend this daffodil up. And now I'm going to separate the forsythia by bending some of the branches so that they spread out a little bit. So when you do this, when you put it on there, it ties like just a big wad of, leaves. And now what you could do is take the time to spread things out. The ribbon up here, let me see, hold on. We've got that up there, that up there. Yep, I'm gonna trim these ribbons at the top, covering up some of the head. So before the ribbons were coming up too far in the head. They still might go down just a little bit. Okay, and now what I want to do is hot glue inside the bow loops. Let's get some of this out of the way. I want to hot glue flowers inside of the bow loops. So we've got, remember we've cut off these extra forsythia pieces to make room. That can go in the loops. We've got these other small leaves, not leaves, but flowers that I like. I'm going to take off some of the greenery on the bottom. Move those around, Don't be afraid to take apart what you purchase in the store. You can take things apart, move things around, and then I'm going to see where I want to place these. So I've got one. Oh, and we've got some of this extra greenery too that I can trim off now a little bit shorter and put some of that in there. So what we're going to do is just fill up the bow loop so that it looks like your bow's not just stuck on top. It's going to be incorporated with all of the greenery. I just like it. I like that look. All right, so we need some greenery down here. So to do that, just put some hot glue on the end right there, on the end of the greenery or whatever flower you're putting in the bow loops. And then you're going to put it into the bow where two of the bow loops are coming together, and then you put your hand, you're gluing the piece between two pieces of ribbon. So I usually put my hand on the bottom and one on the top, and then hold it there until it gets dry or cooled off. And then let's do one on the other side. And do one more. If you are ever not able to see some of these videos, just know that all of the instructions are gonna be on my blog. It usually takes about a week before they get out there. I think I'm a week behind now. But so last week's video should be out there, and you know, you could just go to my blog, southerncharmwreaths.com/blog, and join my mailing list when you're there, and you will be notified. So if you do miss one of my videos, you can see it on the blog, and it'll be emailed directly to your inbox. This part is a little tricky, so just be careful you don't burn your fingers. Can you show the wreath behind you also? Oh, okay. Let me show you that one. Right here, this one. I am teaching you how to make this wreath in my Wreath Making of the Month Club. This video will be released tomorrow, that wreath right there, and to the Wreath Making of the Month Club tomorrow. So I show the members how to make that wreath. They get a list of supplies and where I've purchased. So if you enjoy what I'm doing right here, obviously when I make big wreaths like that, we're not on these little screens and I'm bending over, but it's real professional. We've got I've got a professional editor. I use a microphone on my lapel. You can hear everything I'm doing, and I walk you through exact steps on how to make that wreath, and that is in my Wreath Making of the Month Club, which after the video is over, the link will be at the top in the descriptions. But it's, I mean, I love it. So I have a lot of fun teaching, and that is one of my favorite things to do, is to teach the art of wreath making, and that club is so much fun. And I do a Facebook Live privately for them. That's why every now and then I kept saying group. I'm thinking I'm in that group, but I do a private Facebook group for them too, a Facebook Live, showing them a different wreath. So really, you learn how to make 2 wreaths each month. All right, so I'm almost done. I've just got one more piece, I think. Got one more place I'd like to put something, and then I'll hold it up for you guys to see. Ouch. Be careful, don't get burned. I'm just telling you that. Okay. So let me get some of this greenery out of the way, all of this mess, so I can try to back up just a bit. Oh my gosh, this is so adorable. The only thing I'm not loving right now is it's kind of hard to see the bunny. There we go, the head. I'm still on live.
Can I let Marley out?
Where? Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. Wait, hold him by the hanger. Let me see if I can put him with the white. Maybe not over the trash can. Isn't that cute?